Welcome to the depths of the strange, otherworldly, unknown, paranormal, and much more, where we explore theories that defy logic, reason, and will leave you questioning reality itself. I've always been curious about how the world we live in works. So many questions, yet so little answers, and who's to say those answers are even accurate or honest? It wasn't until the events leading up to 2020, and then the events that followed, that I started to question reality even more than ever. It was like an awakening or boost of awareness I had, and I'm sure I'm just one of millions who felt it. All that to say, fast forward to now. I do not believe certain things happen randomly, and I do not believe in coincidences. Most might think, okay, here's another conspiracy theorists. But what do you call a conspiracy theorist who turned out to be correct and was stating the facts all along? One would say someone who doesn't fall for what the mainstream media wants them to believe. Others might say someone who has experience in seeing through the lies being presented from every direction. But perhaps it's a combination of both, and simply someone who is just more consciously aware of this world we live in. Now, I'm not saying I'm remotely close to being as wise as some of the so-called infamous conspiracy theorists out there, but I am wise enough to know we live in a matrix, and there are forces that control the entire system we live by. Check out my Bizarre World Control Theories video for more details about that. There are always events and incidents happening all around the world that we either know about or don't know about because we're too busy focusing on what they want us to know about. Look here, not there. Pay attention to this, don't question that. Be afraid. That basically sums up the news they want us to watch every damn day. And by they, I mean the 1% who control the world. I can go on and on about this, but maybe it's best if I save that for another time. In this episode, we'll discuss a few theories about what strings they might try to pull in 2025. But first, we'll recap a few events in 2024 that had everyone asking, what the hell is going on? Keep in mind, I'm not including politics, and I'm talking about a few of the eye-opening events that occurred in the United States only, for now at least. 2024 happened to be the year of a solar eclipse that sparked many theories about prophecies, legends, and astrological events that would start to unfold. Now here's an example of what I meant earlier about not believing in coincidences. The solar eclipse landed on April 8th, 4-8. A few days prior, in the northeast of the US, there was a random earthquake with a magnitude of 4.8. Mind you, it is extremely rare for the Northeast to ever have earthquakes. So, what are the chances of that? Coincidence? You tell me. Then a few months later, and we get not one, but two massive hurricanes that hit Florida back to back, about 2 weeks apart. Now, yes, dangerous storms are unfortunately part of nature, and maybe 10 or even 5 years ago I would have thought that's all that was. But my gut tells me the earthquake and the hurricanes were not natural. I talked about weather control in another video, so as always check that out as well. Now let's fast forward to November. Drones and random orbs in the sky was the only topic you'd see on the news for weeks. Just randomly out of nowhere they show up, hovering over several states and other countries as well. I saw a few of them myself, and I could have sworn I saw a large drone release an even smaller drone. It was weird as hell. The people obviously felt fear about unknown large drones over their communities and wanted answers, but of course, the government plays dumb and can't give a straight answer. After that, craziness subsided. Towards the end of December, people started to report an unusual dense fog, accompanied by a chemical-like odor and weird substances that floated around in it when seen under lights. Some even reported feeling flu-like symptoms after being exposed to this fog. Was this connected to the drones a month earlier? Or was it some type of chemical experiment? Again, definitely not a random situation. Now we move on to January 2025. California gets devastating wildfires, which caused significant loss of life, destroyed thousands of structures, and led to damages exceeding $250 billion. Some claim the fires were started by certain individuals who were paid to do a job. Others claim the fires were started using directed energy weapons or lasers like the ones that many believe caused the fires in Maui, Hawaii, back in 2023. But for what purpose? Perhaps so the government can buy the land off of the former, now homeless owners, since the end goal is for the people to own nothing and be happy, according to the World Economic Forum. If not that, maybe even as a cover-up for the crimes involving Sean Diddy Combs. Just my thoughts as always. Moving on to a few weeks ago from the time I uploaded this video, on January 29th, there was a mid-air collision that happened near Washington, D.C. An American Airlines jet and a Black Hawk helicopter both collide, and sadly there are no survivors. 2 days after that, a medical transport jet crashes down in Philadelphia. All passengers perished as well. 2 days after that, a United Airlines flight scheduled to depart from Houston, Texas to New York experienced an engine issue causing smoke and flames right before takeoff. Thankfully, no one was hurt this time. But imagine if that plane had been flying at the time that happened. Then 4 days after that, a plane carrying 10 people, including the pilot, flying from Unalakleet to Nome, Alaska goes missing. It completely vanishes with no trace, only to be found in a wreckage hours later, miles away from their destination, sadly with no survivors. So, I ask again, coincidence? I think not. I'm just wondering why they want people to be afraid of flying all of a sudden. So now we wonder, what is the rest of the year going to look like? What else will they do to keep us feeling insecure and living in fear? The first theory could be a massive global internet outage. Imagine waking up to a world gone silent. No buzzing notifications, no news updates, no frantic messages from loved ones. The internet, the invisible thread binding modern civilization that unfortunately the majority of humans are dependent on because it's used for basically anything that the modern person would use on a normal day, has been indefinitely disconnected. At first, people will assume it's a temporary glitch, another random outage like the one a lot of people had with AT and T not too long ago. But as the hours stretch into days, panic will set in. Banks freeze, unable to process digital transactions. Grocery stores are ransacked, their shelves stripped bare as fear-driven mobs hoard supplies. Emergency services collapse, their communication networks rendered useless. We can assume this wasn't an accident, but a coordinated effort by the elites to cut off communication worldwide. With one calculated move, they have erased free speech, dismantled independent news sources, and turned every nation into an isolated island. No one knows what's happening beyond their immediate surroundings. The elites remain hidden, watching from the shadows as society fractures, knowing that in the absence of information, fear and desperation will make the people easier to control. Was the movie Leave the World Behind used as predictive programming? If you haven't seen that movie, you should. This year could start a subtle shift that most don't notice at first. AI has become part of people's lives, willingly or unwillingly. It has already surpassed expectations, generating realistic deepfakes, writing entire books, and even mimicking human voices with chilling accuracy. It powers self-learning chatbots, predicts behavior, and automates jobs once thought untouchable. But 2025 could mark the year it becomes truly unsettling. First reason, more and more people could start to lose their jobs as entire careers start vanishing overnight, causing people to feel useless and depressed and rely on the government for help. Second reason, there are now very realistic videos and even voice recordings of well-known people that at first you think what you're watching and hearing is real, but then you realize that it's not. So, then what happens when you don't realize it's not real because your brain can't tell the difference? News feeds could be flooded with AI-generated events that never actually happened, blurring the line between reality and fiction, causing a massive deception of what is really going on in the world. They want to shrink more of our perception and fully take control of our reality. And now the third reason. If you think your smart devices are hearing and watching you now, well, that could truly be the case soon. Personal devices may begin responding to thoughts before they're spoken, as AI anticipates desires before users even recognize them, causing the privacy of the people to get even worse than it is now. And as AI-powered humanoid robots start appearing in everyday life, their blank expressions watching, listening, learning, one question lingers. At what point does AI stop serving us and start replacing us? Again, another form of control from the elites. They already control us now. Imagine an AI-generated reality we can't escape from. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Spoken by one of the wisest men to have lived, Nikola Tesla. The elites know this since they immediately confiscated all of Tesla's research after he passed away. They've used it before, and they will use it again, but not for the good of humanity. Certain frequencies, like infrasound, below 20 Hz, and harsh mid-range sounds, 2 to 5 kHz, can trigger anxiety, discomfort, or stress, while brainwave interference, 6 to 10 Hz, may cause agitation or confusion. Some also believe 440 Hz tuning and microwave frequencies, RF radiation, negatively impact emotions. This could be the year that an otherworldly transmission disrupts global communication networks. How, you ask? It could be similar to the incident in 1977 that occurred in England. A British television broadcast was interrupted by a distorted voice claiming to be Vrillon of the Ashtar Galactic Command, warning humanity to change its ways and embrace peace. The eerie message lasted about 6 minutes, overriding the audio signal of Southern Television's evening news. Authorities never identified the culprit, creating theories that it was either an elaborate hoax or a real extraterrestrial transmission. This time, it could be a distorted, pulsing signal that hijacks satellites, radio waves, and even deep-sea sonar, while using harmful frequencies at the same time. Most likely, the message won't be in any known language, yet it will still communicate, seeping into electronic systems and appearing in cryptic visual patterns, strange audio frequencies, and possibly even in the dreams of certain individuals, since our ears still hear frequencies while we sleep. While most people will be frightened that it could actually be extraterrestrials or an unknown intelligence warning of an impending reckoning, it will just be the 1% using this tactic to once again cause fear and uncertainty to the people, while at the same time using the secrets of the universe to fuel our stress and negative emotions. I truly believe one, if not all, of these 3 theories will happen this year. Sometimes you can just feel like something is brewing, and that's how it feels to me right now. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just trying to spread awareness and perhaps help some wake up to what is going on right in front of their eyes. Remember, there is only 1% who are in control right now, and when they realize they are losing that control, they try to cause confusion, fear, and stress. But we do not have to let that happen. So, what are your thoughts? Will any of these events happen? What possible events do you think will happen this year? There is no right or wrong answer with theories. That's it for this video. I'm interested to know your own theories and thoughts, so please do share them in the comments. I'm also open to video ideas, so feel free to let me know. If you enjoy my videos, then please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you as always. And don't forget to keep questioning reality.